Hi guys, my name is Ellie, welcome to my channel, and yeah, face is already done because we're not really doing makeup. I want to talk instead about single shadows, how I store them, and my intense loyalty to a specific creator. I posted the palette that I bought trying to make space for the upcoming Clionadh Cosmetics stained glass collection because I want a lot of it, but they are also single shadows and I need a physical space to put them, which I did not currently have. I might not fully have enough space because it's a big collection. And like I immediately got several messages asking where I got it. And I realized I don't think I've showed you guys my magnetic palettes, and I love them. I really, really love them. And I have never bought other ones. So I might be incorrect. There might be some magical thing, but these get the job done and they are pretty. So the first one I bought, well, technically I don't have it. I, several years ago, decided that since I was getting into makeup and one of my older sisters was, I knew she wore makeup. I still don't know how much or what, because she's got fantastic skills at like very, very minimal, very, very hard to tell, but gorgeous, natural type makeup. She looks very put together, very just flawless, gorgeous, and it's very hard to pick out what exactly she's wearing. So I had a plan. I was like, I'm gonna do a thing, and I wanted to buy her a really pretty magnetic palette and put in some really pretty single shadows so she would just have some stuff, because I have no idea what she has, what she's using, and I'm not even sure she used the gift I got her. But while trying to do that, because I was very new to shadows, we got her some MAC shadows, and I put them in one of these really, really pretty palettes because I thought it would be nice to have something that was like a nice aesthetic piece to put them in, because a lot of the magnetic palettes I'd seen were kind of ugly. They didn't have a lot going on. They were either really, really simple packaging or they had the clear plastic front, which I can understand the point of, but just looks ugly to me. And I had not quite figured it out yet, but I now know, as useful as something may be, if it's in an ugly packaging or I'm not excited about it, I'm not gonna fucking use it. So I have to lean into the useful but also pretty thing, and that's why I have kind of stuck with these. So the first one I bought for myself was this one. Oh, I buy these on Etsy from a store called Another Soul. I'm going to link there. I always kind of assume it's a lady, just because my brain says makeup. I assume somebody who is making something like this, my brain says would potentially be a lady trying to make a nice aesthetic piece for her makeup collection, but that might not be the case. I have no idea if this person is male, female, whatever. But they have a fantastic shop on Etsy. They make a bunch of these in a lot of different options, and I have several of them. So this one, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it has these gorgeous, like, slightly other colored floral shapes. It reminds me of like old wallpaper, but it's quite sturdy. It's got some powder that's kind of stuck to it. It's not the cleanest, but the fabric is this fabric type is set up so that if I wanted to like wipe this down with a damp cloth, I could and get most of that product off and it would be clean again. This is currently where I am holding a lot of things that I am trying to pan for my Project 50 pan. So I've got a lot of different shadows in here. I've got like a Nabla shadow. I've got this is from Ofra. It's one of the banana powders, but I'm not really good at banana powders. I've got some MAC shadows. I've got some Makeup Geek. I've got some Anastasia Beverly Hills. I've got some, I want to say one or two of these are ColourPop, but I don't know. So you can see it holds a decent amount of shadows. This one only has the magnetic portion on the bottom, but it does have these little corner magnets that attach to these, well, pull down these small pieces, so like it's got a pretty good closure. And this worked really, really well for a long time because I didn't have a ton of single shadows and I have not currently gotten into like depotting palettes and trying to mix them around. I'm interested, but I'm also very nervous. So we haven't done that yet. This worked really, really well for a long time. And then I realized I was acquiring more shadows. I was being more tempted by single shadows, and I needed more space. I didn't want to keep them in their little like blister packs that they sometimes come in, so I got a bigger one. This one. One of the things that she offers are double-sided Are we gonna do they? I don't know. I'm really bad at guessing things. So she offers these double-sided palettes that have a magnetic option on the top and bottom. This is fantastic. This is the Tarte Big Book of Blush number 3. I pulled them out. I put them in here. I was much happier with them in this setup than the other one. And I could keep a ton of shadows down here. Let's just kind of guess. She does setups where she lets you know how many... Okay, so pretty standard shadows. You can mix and match and play around with the placement, but you can kind of get 4 by 7. If you want to set them up like that, you can stagger them if you want to, because I think you can get a little bit more if you do them staggered, but I don't remember fully. It's been a while. And I'm not going to mess with that right now. She has different setups with pictures that show you how, like, what size pans and how many will fit and in what type of configuration in there. It also comes with a clear plastic divider so that the powder on the top is not raining down on the product in the middle. And this worked really, really well for a long time. Because I kind of was more just, like, giving away certain shadows to friends to make room for things, and this is a lot. Like, if you don't have that many single shadows, or you don't have as many big products like the blushes, you should be fitting a lot in here, especially if it's all eyeshadow. So that's all I had for a long time. And then, I think it was last fall, I remembered, I had seen it, and I'd never actually done anything about it, that there will be seasonal ones, mainly around Halloween. And some things came up. I've also bought palettes and filled them with shadows, or like bought a palette and some shadows and given them to friends, just because I think these are gorgeous pieces. I think if you're going to keep single shadows, having something that is pretty and you can match to your aesthetic and personality makes it a lot more interesting and fun to use. I think it makes a good gift. I don't necessarily think it was the best gift for my sister. I'm not even sure if she used it or anything, but the ability to pick out a palette that has a design on it that you think goes fantastically with a person or they've told you they like, and then putting in some fun shadows or some stuff like that and giving it to them, I think it's really, really nice and allows it to be a much more personalized gift for somebody who likes makeup than just buying a palette, like a pre-made, pre-packaged from a specific brand type palette, like a naked palette. It's a very different personalized gift, and I think it's really cool. I haven't done it lately, but I liked the idea of doing it. But I had seen some of the Halloween type things. This one I'm not 100% sure with Halloween, but I really, really liked it, and I liked the idea of having like a bunch of neutrals in like a wood palette. So I thought it was cool, so I picked it up. It's the same size as the first one I got, and then I'm like, oh, then I can like pull certain things out, because I was starting to get into the idea of keeping, like, making my own color story in singles. Like, I've never made like a holy grail palette of singles because I have a lot of pre-made palettes, but this one currently holds fun stuff. It held singles for a while, and I really like that there's the internal pattern on this. I have some pressed glitter type stuff from, I can look on the back, it's Gracie Brown? Dear Katie Brown, I think, is these glitters, which are really, really fun, adhere really, really well. And then these are Clean Out Cosmetics. This is the Harvest bundle from last fall. So again, I knew I needed more space for these guys. They're gorgeous. They're pretty. Oh, there's a little glitter in the corner. No. Get out of there. You don't belong there. But yeah, they're really, really pretty. I really, really like this. And then this one. I just got very excited. I like Hamsa's. I like the Ouija thing. I like Halloween spooky type things. I get really excited around Halloween because so much darker decor and styled things comes out, and she does some fantastic things. So I did this one, and then it's got the internal hand, and I keep some other random stuff in here. This, I need to give this to my friend. I told her she could have it, and then I keep forgetting to like physically put it in her bag before she leaves. This is from Clean Out Cosmetics as well. This is a highlighter that I bought when I didn't think I was getting the palette this came in, and then later I bought the palette this came in, so I need to give it away. This I think is implied to be a highlighter. It is not a highlighter on me, but it is a gorgeous, huge shadow. It's all sorts of pretty things. So many pretty things, and little samples, and it's got a really nice magnet that holds things down. The only thing it seems to have issue with are MAC. There's something about MAC shadows that just doesn't adhere or like grab as well, so you have to get the more magnetic-y type palette singles and kind of stack it around them. So like that's what I've done in this corner, because this one is a MAC shadow, these are not, and these stick in much better, and just having it there allows it to hold a lot more and not kind of bounce around in the palette. MAC shadows just don't stick in these very well, or in, maybe it's something else that other palettes do it better, but I like the attention to detail that go into these, the outside coverings being different, the option for unique internal pits, and now I come to the two that I bought thinking I had a plan for Clean Out Cosmetics, because I originally bought this one, which is pretty, it's light, I thought it was going to be really cool to have something like this. This was mainly to hold, oh no. It is a double-sided one, so this is about the same size, yeah, as those ones, but it does come with a double-sided option, the little plastic bits. And I have the 68.5 Degrees North collection from Clean Out Cosmetics in this. I have a lot of singles from Clean Out because they sell a lot of singles and I love them. But I thought this would be a good one. It would kind of match. I like the idea of matching the outside of the palette to the inside, and it's nice. It doesn't quite all fit. You can kind of see if you stagger them, you can get potentially a little bit more in there than if you just do straight down in proper lines, but I still had some that had to go on the bottom, and it's working really well, and it's holding them really, really well, and I just need to be careful. This one, and then once I put them all in this, I'm like, I don't have enough space. I thought I was going to have enough space in this somehow to hold more things, and I think if I crammed things together I could still have more space, but I was not going to have enough. As the things in the stained glass collection just kept releasing and I realized I was not going to have enough, I bought another one. This is the same size as the peacock one. It is the big double-sided Fashoom. Right now it has the Divina Cosmetics multi-chromes because I have a plan, but in theory this should hold a lot. I should have room for some of the stained glass collection here, especially because when or if I get those highlighters that are coming with it, those are going to be even bigger pans to try and fit into something. But since it's stained glass, makes me think of like old historical like architecture and artwork and all this stuff, I thought having something kind of older and looking vintage would be nice. So I got this one. I thought it was going to match the collection really well, which has not come out yet. And that's where I am. And other than the MAC shadows not sticking the best, which I think has to do with what the MAC pan is made of, because it's the only one that doesn't stick in there. And I want to say I remember people talking about that being an issue, but I don't remember, because not as many people are really talking about the magnetic palettes so much. I know Z palette was huge for a while, and then there was a scandal that I don't fully remember, but there was a scandal. I remember not getting excited when they tried to bring out a depotting tool that was basically just a hair straightener, which I was already using. Yeah, I like these because they're pretty. They're sturdy. Some of these have lasted, the first two I've got have lasted several years with no issue, like the white one's kind of dirty, but that's probably because it's white and because I'm using it a lot. And I haven't had any issues with the bindings cracking, with the magnets wearing out. I haven't had, like, I haven't chucked the palette, and I don't intend to, but I haven't had any issues with, like, anything, really. These have been fantastic. They're very sturdy. They're very personalizable. And the Etsy shop ships them generally really, really fast. Like, super fast. Because they're all pre-made. It's not something... I know certain people have things going on, and sometimes there will be things behind the scenes working that you don't see, but the ability to put an order in and have it, like, normally within a day or two, have a notification that it's shipped, and it's not just, oh, they've printed a label, it's out, it is going, and it, you know, reaches me pretty quickly, and I like it. I really, really like that somebody took something like the magnetic palette and said, I would like that to be prettier, I would like that to be something that would encourage people to use it more, and not just be a place some things get put. I really, really like the variety. It's not just that they're all really, really light and feminine or whatever. Like, there's a lot of flowers. There's a lot of that. There's some abstract patterns. One of the ones I bought for a friend was like a chevron pattern, and they were different patches of like watercolor pastel in the chevrons. Like, it was gorgeous. She's finding these really, really unique and pretty things to put on the outside of these palettes and making a really, really sturdy, good product. And I'm just going to keep buying them whenever I need them because they're fantastic. I haven't had any issues, and I really, really like that the way it's put together, the prettiness of it, and the sturdiness of the feel. Because, like, these, like, the edges themselves, the outside wrapping is not bendable, it's not floppy, it's really firm, and I like that. I like that I don't feel like if I stack these, they're gonna curve down and, like, crush the shadows inside. So, pretty, sturdy, nice. I don't know what normally people pay for magnetic palettes, so I don't know if these are more expensive than the other ones people are getting, because this is all I really ever bought, because I really, really like them, and they're really pretty, and they make me excited about matching these to things and putting things in them. And if I was going to get into taking my pre-made palettes and depotting them and reorganizing them into things, I would be excited to get magnetic palettes that reflect the story that I want to tell with the colors in them. And I think that it's really, really nice that a shop exists that's making this, and that there's such a variety available in the patterns and the sizes and what you can, you know, double-sided, single-sided, whatever. I think they also potentially do custom orders. I've just never put one in because I see what I want and I'm like, that one. I haven't been like, I wish it did this. So yeah, this is where I'm getting my magnetic palettes. This is how I am storing my single shadows, and it's working very, very well for me, and it makes it super fun. So if you're looking for a pretty, sturdy, unique magnetic palette, I would suggest searching out Another Soul on Etsy. Yeah. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. It wasn't just me talking at the camera for 20 minutes. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you guys use. Are you using the magnetic palettes? Are you also kind of sad that other brands haven't done as much to make them pretty or interesting or personalizable? Good at words. It's like when my coworker tries to say processable. She has a lot of issues with that and ends up with like 5 extra syllables in there. And then she glares and just makes that face until it fixes itself in her brain. Yeah, I have to go. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.